Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA.
WNBA faces uncertain future as CBA talks stall and Caitlin Clark's Europe option sparks debate. The WNBA is navigating one of the most turbulent moments in its history as collective bargaining agreement CBA negotiations between the league and the Women's National Basketball Players Association.
At midnight, the 2020 WNBA WNBPA collective bargaining agreement will expire. Despite demonstrating our willingness to compromise in order to get a deal done, the
WNBPA have broken down without a deal, with the previous agreement expiring and no clear resolution in sight. Uncertainty now surrounds salaries, free agency, and even the league's competitive calendar. At the center of the conversation is Caitlin Clark, the league's most high-profile star, whose future has become a symbol of the broader crisis. Clark's arrival brought unprecedented mainstream attention to the WNBA. Her games drew record television audiences, arenas reported frequent sellouts, and her jersey became one of the league's top-selling items. That surge in interest played a key role in a reported $2.2 billion media rights agreement, raising expectations for higher salaries and expanded revenue sharing. However, as negotiations stalled, some players and media voices began framing Clark's impact as an indirect factor in the rising demands that complicated talks, a narrative that has fueled controversy and division. Late-stage negotiations deteriorated further when the WNBPA issued a public statement accusing the league and team owners of undervaluing player contributions and delaying meaningful compromise. Labor protests followed, underscoring how far apart the two sides remain. Owners, meanwhile, have indicated they are preparing to operate under existing legal frameworks while talks continue, signaling confidence that a deal will eventually be reached amid this tension. Reports and rumors suggest Clark could consider playing in Europe if uncertainty drags on. Overseas leagues have long offered competitive basketball, financial stability, and additional benefits such as housing and transportation. For a global star with significant endorsement income, Europe represents a viable alternative during prolonged instability. The possibility alone has heightened concern among league stakeholders, who recognize that Clark's presence has been central to recent growth. Critics argue that internal rivalries, physical play, and inconsistent messaging from leadership have contributed to a hostile environment that risks alienating key talent. Supporters of the players counter that collective bargaining is about long-term fairness and sustainability, not individual stars. What remains clear is that the league's recent momentum is fragile, and prolonged discord could erode fan trust and commercial confidence. As negotiations continue, the WNBA faces a defining test: whether it can reconcile labor concerns, protect its most valuable assets, and convert recent attention into lasting stability will shape the league's future. The outcome will determine not only where Caitlin Clark plays next season, but also whether the WNBA can sustain the growth it worked so hard to achieve.